What's going on, everybody? This is the Chicago Sports Talk. Michael back at it with another video talking, of course, the Chicago Bears. And today's topic is, can quarterback Caleb Williams have a historical rookie season like CJ Stroud? Before we begin with that topic, I do want to remind everybody, if you're new to the channel and you stumble across this video, please hit the big red subscribe button and hit the bell notifications for more of Bears content. So I did a video on this yesterday, but I really didn't explain it the best I could for a majority of people that did listen to it. So the topic that it should have been is, can Caleb have a historical year like CJ Stroud? Which Dan said that there's absolutely no way that Caleb can replica what CJ Stroud just did last year. So I looked at CJ Stroud's stats. The last season he had 4,000. He threw over 4,108 passing yards and 23 touchdowns with 5 interceptions with a quarterback rating of 100.8. So, my question is, what made CJ Stroud's last year spectacular? Because if we look at the touchdown and interception ratio, it's not compared to the Justin Herberts, the Baker Mayfields, hell, even Daniel Jones, who people view as a bust, who got paid a big money, threw more touchdowns in his rookie season than CJ Stroud did. So in hindsight, the only reason why Stroud's year was being looked as better is because no one expected the Texans to take a massive leap from being last in their division to winning their division amongst winning a playoff game without any weapons. They just got Stephon Diggs. They had Nico Collins. They had Tank Dell. They didn't have any wide receiver ones. All they had was wide receiver 2s and wide receiver 3s, and their defense was under the first rebuild of the Nico Collins. The difference between what Stroud went into his first year and what the difference between Caleb and Stroud is, Stroud didn't have expectations to take the Texans to the playoffs. Caleb is expected to break a lot of boundaries, a lot of historical records his first year, and there was a reason why Stroud went number 2 and Caleb is number 1. Because remember, Stroud wasn't the first overall pick; Bryce Young was, which I've been telling people, but that's a story for a different time. And we can make the case that Caleb has better weapons than CJ Stroud did his first year. Obviously, DJ Moore is an upgrade over Nico Collins. Keaton Allen is a upgrade over Tank Dell. And I guarantee you Rome is better than what unproven receiver that they had. And not to mention, Cole Kmet is better than Dalton Shelton or whatever. And I guarantee you DeAndre Swift was better than any running back they had. I think they had Devin Singletary last year. If someone can remind me of who was the Texans running back last year. And the Bears defense going into this year is better than whatever D'Amico Collins had his first year, because besides, they really didn't have a proven player on that defense besides Jimmy Ward. And CJ Stroud, the only reason why we can see it. He could see that he had a historical years because the Texans weren't expected to do anything, and Caleb is going into a much harder division than what CJ Stroud did because we can make the case that Stroud had much easier competition than Caleb is going to have because Stroud um what did he have? The Colts, the Jaguars that had the second half fall. And I guarantee you if Trevor Lawrence didn't get hurt, the Jaguars would have won that division still. Who else? The Titans. I mean, do we even need to say it? They had a quarterback carousel. And Caleb is going into a division with two premier playoff contending teams. Well, not really Detroit because Detroit's going as a Super Bowl contending team. Green Bay is expected to go to the playoffs again, and the Vikings, even though that they're expected to have a downfall, they still have a lot of firepower on that offense. So they're Caleb is expected to do stuff this year, but I've said it before. 20 touchdowns would be a Bears franchise record for rookies, and 3,000 yards would be a all-time passing yards for Chicago Bears rookies. So Caleb, even though that the ceiling is Chicago Bears ceiling is not high for him because I think Bears fans would be extremely happy if Caleb had a total of like if he had what Daniel Jones, not like Daniel Jones, but I would say if he had like 15 touchdowns to 5 interceptions, that's already all time in Chicago Bears history. And basically, I mean, maybe I don't see it as historic. Maybe others will view it as historic in Bears history. So, the question is, can Caleb have a better year than CJ Stroud did? Well, a lot. Well, I'm speaking from their words. People think that Caleb can easily have a CJ Stroud year, maybe even better than what CJ Stroud did because CJ Stroud had a total of 23 passing touchdowns and 5 interceptions. Yes, the interceptions do not look high as Justin Herbert's, which set the record, who had 10 interceptions. So if Caleb doesn't turn over the ball consistently because like people may expect him to because he may be throwing the ball a lot in this Shane Waldron type of offense, but as long as he doesn't come a turnover machine like a Jameis Winston to turnover machine, then I think Caleb will. Like I said, a lot of people expect Caleb to do a lot this year for the Bears, and because the Bears are more team ready than what the Texans were this last year. So let me know in the comment section down below if you believe that Caleb Williams will have a historical year like CJ Stroud did. Let me know in the comment section down below. As always, thanks for watching and bear down.